Hey, Angel Reese, back in the gym, working on her pull up, bang. Working on her midi, working on her mid-range game, 15 to 17 feet out, being able to create some space for herself. Yes, this looks embarrassingly slow. No, it is not in slow motion. This is just what we have to work with right now.
Watching Lexi Hull train with the Indiana Fever feels like witnessing a masterclass in precision. She's knocking down threes with ease and confidence, while right next to her, Caitlin Clark is casually dialing in her mid-range game. The energy is sharp, focused, like every rep counts. And clearly, fans felt that too. The clip racked up 2.7 million views in just 24 hours. With their development coach leading the charge, even routine drills look like title prep. Then came Angel Reese's video and, let's just say, the vibe couldn't have been more different.
Mabry comes up with the board. Long pass, perfect to Reese. She was unable to get it in. And they've played some beautiful basketball. Again, no Brianna Stewart today. Chicago's missed 7 straight shots.
That's off all screens, so she's not getting any easy look.
Reese.
Being a 6'3" post player who struggled with basic finishes around the rim last season, spending her workout time launching long jumpers really made me pause. There were no coaches in sight, no clear structure, just a camera capturing a string of moves she rarely uses in actual games. And that's when it clicked. Not all training is productive. Just because you're putting in work doesn't mean it's the right work.
Work on your weaknesses. Work on your weaknesses and work on the important weaknesses.
What the Indiana Fever are doing in their training sessions feels different, elevated. These aren't just your typical off-season clips. They're broadcasting a blueprint for a championship run, while most WNBA players are posting the usual grind mode weight room highlights. The Fever are giving fans a front row seat to actual development, strategy, and execution. It's intentional, it's transparent, and it's winning over basketball fans fast.
There's like kind of almost in these workouts, but they're probably doing a lot of workouts with individual players. But yeah, she's going to the basket, takes a reverse layup right there. She makes a nice off-footed finish layup. Nice floater right there. Stephanie White's actually showing her what to do while being denied. Coming off some fakes, which is nice. Doing her like patented jump shot. Oh, she shot the ball right now.
What makes these Fever training clips stand out is the intention behind every movement. Each player is dialed in, working on specific skills that directly plug into a bigger vision. Winning Lexi Hull is drilling corner threes and quick trigger jumpers, perfect tools to space the floor when Caitlin Clark attacks the lane. Sophie Cunningham? She's refining elbow jumpers, knowing that's where the defense will sag when Clark draws a double. While most teams share generic workout montages that reveal little, the Fever are practically showing us the blueprint. You can see the offense forming piece by piece, holes shooting stretches the defense, giving Clark driving lanes, which then opens up post looks for Boston and clean mid-range windows for Cunningham. It's all connected. That level of clarity, that tactical transparency, is exactly why these videos are going viral.
What up, Fever family? It's Coach Keith Porter. Today I got Aaliyah Boston in the gym. We've been working on some footwork, getting up and down the floor, just working on being better.
Porter isn't your average trainer, he's in the thick of it. Defending players, pushing the pace, and making sure every drill mimics game intensity. His commitment runs deep. He even traveled to Massachusetts just to train with Aaliyah Boston. But this isn't just about refining individual skills, it's about building a complete team identity. The way the Fever document their training says everything. When you see Boston practicing left-hand finishes and soft floaters, it's no coincidence. That's a direct response to how teams defended her last season. She's adding counters, beating defenders who overplay her dominant side, using floaters to finish over help defense, and tightening her footwork to own the paint. And the veterans are locked in. Natasha Howard, Brianna Turner, and Dana Bonner are all elevating their pick-and-roll chemistry to sync with Caitlin Clark's elite vision. Each has a distinct role. Howard's mastering short roll finishes. Turner is sharpening her spacing and rim protection, and Bonner is working on becoming a deadly corner option when defenses collapse on the drive. This isn't just highlight reel material, it's real development. They're not hiding from last season's struggles either. Defensive lapses. That's being addressed head-on with reps focused on help side rotations and team communication. The Fever are making one thing crystal clear. They're not just showing off what they can do, they're putting in the work to fix what they couldn't, and by sharing that process openly, they're sending a bold message to the league. Even if you know what's coming, you won't be able to stop it. That's the kind of belief championship. 5 basketball analysts and former pros are taking notice, and for good reason. The Indiana Fever aren't just running drills. They're building a system where individual growth feeds directly into team success. This is what real championship culture looks like. Every rep has purpose. Every skill they refine fits into a larger plan. It's like watching puzzle pieces snap into place, one by one. What sets them apart is how intentional it all feels. They're not just collecting talent, they're crafting a cohesive unit where each player's development lifts the group as a whole. This isn't training for clout or highlight clips. It's focused, strategic basketball work designed for wins. Not like the championship culture the Fever are building couldn't be more different from what we've seen in Angel Reese's off-season approach. When legends like Shaquille O'Neal and Lisa Leslie publicly advise you to sharpen your fundamentals like finishing around the rim, most players would take that to heart. But not Angel. Her latest training video focuses on everything except the areas she struggled with most, and that disconnect, the gap between what she's practicing and what she actually needs to address, might be the most revealing moment of the entire offseason.
Training about 4 or 5 days a week. A lot of young guns out there now that, they want to take your spot, and I don't blame them, but it's going to be hard because I'm going to go after it.
After months of podcast cameos and red carpet appearances, Angel Reese finally decided to remind fans she's still working on her game. But the timing, it feels more like a response than a reveal, especially with Indiana's development footage making serious waves online. As the Fever's structured, high-Q training goes viral, Reese's camp releases their own clips. And just like that, basketball fans start spotting the difference, and not in her favor.
Lexi Hall being back in Indiana, in the gym, working out. We saw Keith Porter in there. We saw Lexi shooting her shots. We saw Lexi with reverse layup.
Angel Reese stands 6'3" inches and plays in the post. Yet last season she shot just 44.5% from inside 5 feet. One of the lowest marks in the league for a player taking that many close-range attempts. That stat alone should set the tone for her off-season focus. But in her latest training video, Reese is working on perimeter moves, long jumpers, and even three-point shots, while largely ignoring the very area where she's struggled most, finishing at the rim. Fans didn't miss a beat. One questioned why the footage was coming from her PR team instead of the Chicago Sky. Another asked the obvious. Why are you working on threes when you can't consistently hit layups? These aren't just hot takes, they echo real concerns raised by basketball legends. Both Shaquille O'Neal and Lisa Leslie have publicly encouraged Reese to double down on post fundamentals. So far, that advice seems to have gone unanswered.
I don't think that's where she's going to be offensively. I think her new coach is taking her away from the basket.
9. Despite advice from some of the game's greatest, Angel Reese appears to be focusing on shots she rarely takes in actual games. And the numbers don't lie, her struggles go far beyond that 44.5% finishing rate within 5 feet. From 5 to 9 feet out, she shot under 15%. And her overall field goal percentage was just 39.1%. That's not just below average, it's a red flag. Instead of honing her touch around the rim, she's working on perimeter shots that have little impact on her current role. If anything, the stats paint a clear picture. Reese doesn't need a deeper jumper, she needs a stronger foundation inside.
I put myself in his shoes and I said, you know what? If Angel Reese was my power forward, and he saw this chart that we're looking at right now, and I see that when she's close around the basket finishing on layups, she's shooting 42%. And when I see Camila Cardoso around the basket finishing on layups, bottom of the chart, folks, she's finishing at a 56% clip. Well, if I'm Tyler Marsh, I am saying to myself, okay, let's make sure that this paint is not congested.
Even more telling is the fact that nearly 40% of Angel Reese's rebounds last season came after her own missed shots. Almost half of her rebounds, the very stat she's known for, are a result of cleaning up her own misses. This creates a statistical illusion, inflating her rebounding numbers while masking her struggles in finishing. But what's even more concerning is what's absent from her training video. There's no sign of any guidance from Chicago Sky staff or development coaches.